everyone, and welcome back to The Verdict's In. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we are talking about American Sports Story, Season 1, Episode 5, The Man, or should I say American Sports Story, Aaron Hernandez. So, Gary, we watched the episode twice now. What are your thoughts?
I love this episode. I love to see Aaron's transformation from college into the NFL. And it's always good to see Bill Belichick and try to see the mind that he thinks with.
Yeah.
But this was a good episode, and we get to see how he met Sherrod.
Yes, we sure. I don't know how they did it. I mean, there's makeup, there's everything, but Sherrod looks younger from when he did in episode 1.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and it just shows you. I mean, I'm not excusing Aaron for any of the things he's being accused of or has been found guilty of, but it does show, your parents used to say, like, you're hanging out with the wrong crowd. Like, he's clearly hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Right.
Now, could he have done all this stuff still if he was with, good kids, hung out with people such as the Tim Tebow guy, stuff like that? Maybe, we don't never know. But I know the people he is hanging out with is only pushing that further and making it escalate even further than probably what it would have if he wasn't hanging out with them.
Well, yeah, that's true. But we can't really compare him and Tim Tebow. I mean, it was two completely different environments.
Yes, that's true.
It's like when you debate the nature versus nurture. Mm-hmm. Well, you have to think about the Aaron Hernandez. It's bad on both ends.
Both
ends.
Yeah, you're right.
He's in the wrong environment. His family is not making it any better.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like to really compare people that come from different environments because, well, we get into it because I'm going to speak more about it later when we get to Bill Belichick.
All right. So let's start off. We have a skit they're watching a skit with drugs, and a friend had drugs on him. And we almost seen this same scene play out when Aaron was in college when I think, what's his name? Cam Newton, when the police came to his door. But sure enough, his friend, he's sitting there with friend has drugs. He didn't know anything about it. So it's a skit. And Aaron made a joke like, yo, I would just jump out the window. Like, hopefully it's on the first floor.
Right.
And I thought, man, if police are smart, wouldn't they be waiting outside too?
Yeah.
Like have multiple people?
Well, yeah. Well, they're in like, what is it, assembly or something, and the guy's trying to show them what's the right thing to do or show them what happened in the past and try to make them better as rookies. Yes,
because he mentions several ex-players. He mentions a Ryan Leaf who committed suicide attempt, and also substance abuse charges. And then Reggie Rogers, I believe, says died from OD. Same as his brother. His brother died from OD. And then Lawrence Phillips, what do my notes say about? I think he killed his girlfriend. Nope. I don't know what he did. There's a few. I don't want to mix the wrong people up. No, it was Ray Kuchera that killed his pregnant girlfriend.
Oh, that's Ray Caruth.
Ray Caruth. Sorry, thank you. And then Lawrence Phillips, I believe, was driving with a couple of teens, had some domestic violence charges.
He was
and
driving with a couple of what?
Teens, like teenagers.
Oh, teenagers.
Yeah, I don't know if that was separate from the domestic abuse charges, but then also his cellmate was found dead, and he also committed suicide, I believe, in jail.
Right. I think the scenario that they act out was completely different from any of the guys he named, but I get the concept. He's saying that, hey, when people get in the league, they think it's, this is it. We're here, we made it. But once you get there, now you have to deal with the other issues that come with the other things.
Temptation and everything else.
And that's why you have a lot of people with the substance abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that happening with a lot of players, especially football players, to try to take the edge off or pain off. Because it is, your body get used to the hits and you get used to hitting people, but you're also getting used to the pain.
Yeah.
Because it is pain that comes with it, constant pain.
And these other drugs like cocaine and whatever other more serious drugs, they don't stay in your system as long as like marijuana. Marijuana can stay in your system for months. It's easier to, I have a crazy weekend. And by the time a few days later, if they do drug test me later, it's going to be out of my system anyways.
Well, these are, these overdoses, that's not marijuana.
That's what I'm saying. They're not marijuana. They're doing some serious hardcore drugs.
And that's what I was saying, that I can see that, a lot of players doing like hardcore serious drugs just because of that.
Yeah.
Just to take the edge off of, like I said, the pain.
Yeah.
But marijuana also, for the same reason.
But the guy does end his like lesson with be a rookie, not a mistake, protect the shield. And I don't know, him saying protect the shield kind of made me think of like, well, I didn't know there was a shield in football, but it made me think of like the police or whatever. And like, cause that's a saying that they always say, like, I don't know if they say protect the shield, but it sounds something
It sounds similar, but yeah, that's with any business. Any business you get into, you know, they're going to say protect the brand.
Yeah.
McDonald's, protect the brand.
Yeah.
Burger King, protect the brand. Walmart, any business you're at, they want you to protect the brand. So that's really all he's saying. Protect the brand.
Even though I just saw there was like a brokey challenge going on. I don't know if you heard of it on TikTok a few weeks back.
Yes. Lotto had a song called Brokey.
Yeah.
And people were so-called mad at it. It were the working people. So she said, you know, she's not talking about the working class people, which all she was. But she was saying that she's going to have a brokey challenge. If you send her a video with you at work, then she would give you, I think it was 10,000 or something.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know. I never heard of the song. I just saw the challenge. And I mean, I just thought people were being fun, having fun.
No. Yeah. Well, once you add money to it. No. So when she put out the song, a lot of people were mad about it. A lot of young people were mad about it, saying, oh, look at her, how she dogging us out, this, that, the other. So she did a whole campaign saying, hey, you know, I appreciate the working people. Here, if you do this right here and send me a clip of you at work, and, you know, whoever has the best video, like I'll fly you out or something, and I'll give you 10. It was a monetary amount that she attached to it. So all of a sudden the song gained popularity because now the people that were mad start doing the challenge.
Okay.
Start doing the challenge at work. Start getting fired from work.
Yeah, well, that's the whole reason why I brought it up is because we were talking about protecting the brand, and I thought of the one I saw with a girl at Waffle House do it, and she got fired. And I was like, Waffle House? You would think Waffle House is super chill based on all the things that people say about Waffle House, and you would think it'd be like a little more chill, because to me it's just promotion. Like, it's promoting the brand in a way, and you already know the stereotypes that your brand has, so might as well just give into that.
Well, unfortunately business doesn't work like that. When your business have a bad reputation, your job is to clean it up, and that's what Waffle House is trying to do, clean their reputation up. That's only YouTubers or content over everything people that if their brand is going bad, they just fall into it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, my brand's bad. Let me just dig it. Let me make myself the bad guy. You know, it doesn't work like that in real life.
All right, well, let's get back into it. So we got Aaron. He's so happy to be a Patriot. He meets Rob Gronkowski. Gronk. And he introduced himself to Aaron. And he says, like, yo, the coach is scary. And we see the coach, you know, he's getting crunk. He's getting everyone crunk for the game. He's crunk for the game, actually. He, I think, plays some music real loud, and
the coach.
Yeah, he gets in his headspace ready for the game.
Yeah, he was playing. I think he was playing Bon Jovi.
Okay.
I can't remember what he was playing.
It was an old song,
I can hear
but popular.
I think I hear it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was playing Bon Jovi. It's My Life.
Yeah, that song was in my head, so maybe that's what it is. Yeah. So at practice, Aaron is doing the damn thing. He's bragging about how well he practiced, how he's doing good. I mean, he's feeling himself. And when he takes his shower after practice while he's bragging or whatever, someone does come interrupt and go, hey, like, rookies pick the pads up. You need to go pick out the pads. He's like, well, I'm already here in the shower. And they're like, it's the rules. Rookies get the pads. So Aaron thinks it's funny and was like, fuck it, I'll just go out there naked. So he goes out there naked, gets the pads, and on his way back, he runs into the coach. And the coach does not find it funny. He's like, yo, be a man. I'm not going to be monitoring everything you're going to do. Everyone tells me, oh, if you don't stay on him, he's going to fuck up. And he's like, I'm not doing all that.
He said Coach Myers told him that you have to stay. Once you let him out your sight, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Okay. Yeah, but he said, I'm not going to do all that. You're here now. Be a man.
He said, this is the man's team, and you need to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, this is where I wanted to bring it up, about different environments where people came from. I loved what Bill Belichick had to say, like, yo, this is a man's team. I'm not going to watch you. You just need to be a man. It sounds excellent, you know, but that's not the case. A lot of these guys were never raised to be men. They were just raised to be athletes. There's just boys and pads. Mm-hmm. Like the same mindset that they had from Pop Warner to high school to college, and if they make it to the pros, no one stepped in and told them. Like we saw, there was no discipline or no consequences for actions early on for a lot of these players, especially Coach Myers. Coach Myers saying that if you take your eye out, well, Coach Myers should have did what he's supposed to do and kind of been that father figure that he told the mother he'd be. But he wasn't. The thing is, a lot of these guys that's come from different places, different environments, they're not taught to be men. They're just taught to play. Go out there, play, have fun. If you fuck up, we'll take care of it.
Right.
When in reality, when you're a man, when you fuck up, you got to take care of it.
Yeah.
You got to handle it. You got to find ways to do, and there's consequences behind it. But if these guys have never had any consequences, and I'm not going to say all of them because a lot of them had consequences, the ones that they could do without. If they could do without you, they already had somebody in the position. Oh, yeah. Let's just show them. Let's suspend them for a couple of games. But if you was, like you saw Aaron Hernandez, remember he got suspended for a game for the next season.
Yeah.
I need you this season.
And it was 1 game suspension.
Right. But nobody's, we're going to blow Hawaii out. Nobody's going to really be at that game, whatever, from here, Yeah, that's the game we're going to suspend you in.
Right.
Or whoever they played that first game. He already knew that
they didn't need no help.
It was in Hawaii. They probably wouldn't need that help.
Yeah.
It was probably a fun-ass game. One thing that Bill Belichick, because he had a long career, and, everybody always talk about the Patriots way and how he coached and everything. But one thing he needs to, understand, which he probably do now, that everybody on your team is from different places, different environments, it's different circumstances. So you can't expect like a Tom Brady. You can expect, the Tom Brady to be cool, calm, collect, because Tom Brady, we don't know how he was raised. We don't, because a lot of, and I don't want to bring race into it, but I got to. A lot of, especially back in the days, now everybody's privileged that come in mostly, but back in the days, a lot of these white guys like Tim Tebow, they were privileged. They were raised not to mess up the family name. Like, hey, you're not going to mess with this family name. This is what you're going to do. You're going to be good at academics. You're going to be good at this. You're going to be good at that. When you have like a Aaron Hernandez, their family's surviving. They don't have any real jobs. Auntie have drug dealers in the house. So it's like just a completely different environment. And you got to kind of treat each person as an individual and help them on an individual level.
I agree. All right, so then we get a quick scene at the club, and Aaron saying, he's trying to stay out of trouble, and they're like, just do your job. The coach, you're a new toy to him. He's going to figure out how to use you. Just once he figures out how to use you, then you'll be fine. But there is the Patriot Way still.
The Patriot Way. Do your job and win.
Right. And then we might let some other shit go.
Nah, I don't know.
But no, because it seems like Bill Belichick expected excellence on the field and off the field.
Yes, excellence.
Well, Aaron goes to visit Cheyenne, and he invites her to the team party because he's like, yeah. And she kind of jokes like, oh, you can't bring one of your floozies or whatever. And we do get a quick scene of a Giselle, just the back of her. At the party. And he meets the Crafts, and Aaron says they are high school sweethearts, which is kind of a little fib. It's kind of making them sound more just,
like they were in a relationship.
Yeah, boy next door, girl next door.
Well, he didn't say they were high school sweethearts. He said, we've known each other since high school. And then...
she said, how long you guys been with each other? And he's like, since high school.
Right. And she said, that Robert Kraft's wife said that, high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
We met at high school.
Yeah. So it made them a little bit more relatable. And Aaron, I think he's kind of seeing that Cheyenne... like, this could be a good look for him to have, he makes him look more stable and everything like that.
Right. But one thing Robert Kraft said that was funny, because Cheyenne made fun after he walked away. He said, yeah, you're from New England, Bristol. He said, we got factories in Bristol. A lot of hard workers.
Yeah. Yep.
I know, as soon as he walked away, Cheyenne started cracking a joke at it, like a bunch of hard workers.
Right. Yeah, right. That's what she was thinking. All right, so the coach is talking to Aaron at the same party, and he says, I can't figure out what you are. And at first I was like, they're going back to what the dad said, like what you are. Not like how you are or anything, like what you are. And then he goes, tight end or receiver. And then they discuss a little gameplay, and it kind of makes Aaron feel like, hey, I kind of just had a moment with the coach. Like maybe he's kind of opening up or getting used to me around.
Yeah, one thing about Bill Belichick, and I've seen this in a couple of interviews, but the one that comes to mind is the Cam Newton, when he was saying the Patriot Way, Bill Belichick. He was saying that on the Patriots, there's no stars. He said he's seen Bill Belichick go in on Tom Brady on the sideline or in practice and all this. So he said Bill Belichick, he doesn't play the star game like, okay, you have special privileges, you could do this. You have special privileges, you could do that. He said it doesn't matter how good you are, who you are. Bill Belichick is going to play you where he want to play you at. Mm-hmm. He's going to play the game how he wants to play it.
And I can definitely appreciate that. I mean, with them having Tom Brady, one of the biggest stars of football in recent football history on the team, but you saw that they played so well together. They all played, whether they were friends off the field or not, they all played well. So to me, it showed that they probably did have a good leadership behind them, maybe a good coaching staff or just front door staff or front office staff.
Front office, yeah.
As well, but yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Bill Belichick except for that he's the Patriots coach, but
was the Patriots coach.
Was the Patriots coach. Oh, he's not. Did he retire after Tom Brady as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so a girl at the party, at first I thought she was sizing up Cheyenne, but she's like, get him early, and that you'll see later on that they actually end up becoming friends. Like usually, you hear about the wives versus the girlfriends, and the wives sort of treat the girlfriends bad. At least on the game, that's how they always portrayed it.
Well, I think that's how it is in reality.
Okay.
Like they may have just a separate thing, like, oh, we're the wives.
The wives are coming here, but the girlfriends, y'all do something else together.
Or, since we're just all here out of town having dinner, everybody can come.
Everybody
all
can
the wives
come,
and
right.
the girlfriends. But I think the game probably touched on spot when they said the wives treat the girlfriends different. Like, you're not
official.
Yeah, you might not be here long term. You know, we might not know you in a couple of seasons. It might be somebody else replace you. So.
But I see the girls now, like I see a lot of on social media, the girlfriends posting their pictures, looking cute, supporting their man, and it doesn't seem like there's, and I mean, you can't only tell so much by social media posts, but it doesn't seem like there's animosity between like the girlfriends and wives.
Anything, singers, athletes, actors, a lot of time you see, someone they're dating become an Instagram model, kind of become famous because who they're dating. And there's more I got to say to that, but I'm just going to leave that alone.
All right. Well, after the party, they go grab pizza. He talks about fitting in and his dad. And Cheyenne says, like, yo, you just need to be yourself. Like, you're doing an amazing job. You need to be yourself. And she also says she wants to get out of Bristol. And that's all she really wants. And Aaron's like, well, maybe we can do all this together. Like, I can be myself with you and you can get out of Bristol. So he's kind of proposing a full relationship, it sounds like, with her.
Yep, exclusive.
Yep. So we see a few more games, just highlights from games. They beat the Bengals. They beat New York.
Yeah, it just showed a whole bunch of teams that they were just that season. That they were just dominating.
Mm-hmm.
Just a whole bunch of teams that they just dominated that season. And I think they, either that season or next season, I think they went like 14-2.
Jeez, impressive. And Aaron makes it rain. He has to tell the coach. He's like, what was that you were just doing? He's like, making it rain.
Yeah, so that scene, when he said making it rain, it didn't go with the celebration. So that had to be a different team.
Yeah.
Because the celebration, like he was digging a ditch.
Digging a ditch, yeah.
He was digging a ditch, picked up the dirt, and just threw it in the air. I don't know. I have to go back and watch highlight to see if he ever did that celebration.
Yeah, I know. Because the digging the ditch is kind of like telling if they just made that up, that's too much. Too much. They doing too much, yeah. All right, so back at home now, we got Cheyenne and Aaron, and they're, Aaron's getting signing autographs. DJ, he's living the high life, through his brother's fame. He has 2 girls on his side. But then Aaron's mom and Jeff show up, so it kind of puts a damper on the party. Jeff and Aaron sort of get into it.
And I wonder, why did the mother and Jeff think that was cool?
Well, so the mom did say, she's like, she's not going to throw a party celebrating my son and me not come. But I'm like,
you're with her ex-husband.
Yeah, like, come on. You're making it about you versus about your child. Yes, who is grown, but why disturb it? Like, your presence there, you and Jeff's presence together there would be bad.
Right. You are with this lady's, your cousin's ex-husband who he was sleeping with while they were together. You were sleeping with while they were together.
Yeah, while they were together and while she was still married.
And while she was still married. This show is portraying Aaron's mom as straight trash and garbage.
Oh, from the first episode.
That just, can't take the hint. Can't take, like...
From the very first episode.
Like, you don't know this is inappropriate?
I have to believe she was like this or there would be a lawsuit. Because if you portrayed me like this and I was nothing like this and you still portrayed my character like this, nationally to people, nah, we're not going to let it go. So I don't know. I just feel like maybe she's like this or somewhat.
I think she is like this. And I also think that she's an opportunist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we got that from the first episode, second episode, third episode.
Whenever she got that car.
Not only when she got in the car, when she spoke to the coach, like, "Oh, you doing that for the mothers also?"
Yeah, mothers also, yeah.
The mother's playing, and she got the car. The only person that can confirm like Aaron's sexuality or whatever, they said it came from his mother. Well, not only the backup quarterback for his high school team. But his mother said, when she went to visit him in prison before he killed himself, he told her like, "Hey, I'm homosexual," and that was the last thing he told her. That's what she said. This is the last thing he told me.
We'll have to see. But Cheyenne, she stops the fight from escalating further, and she's like, "Hey, people are watching. Like, people are watching you. Chill. You can't do this. Like, you can't do all this."
Told him everything his father told him.
Yeah. And to me, it was good that he had like somebody completely different from his mom, because if he was with someone that was like his mom, she would have been like, "Get his ass!" Like, she would have escalated the situation. All right, so Aaron, he's been his friends. He's complaining about his mom showing up and da-da-da. And then this is when we meet Sherrod. And Aaron's first time meeting Sherrod. And Sherrod's like, "Are we going to play cards? Or are we going to keep hearing you complain about your mama?" And Aaron is about to go off on him, or kind of was rude to him. But then once he finds out that's Sherrod, he goes and apologizes. He's like, and Sherrod's like, "I'm not looking for trouble." And he gives him a little thing of weed. But Sherrod tells him, "Yo, if you want to fuck a brother up, just do it. Nobody is in charge of you." Horrible advice, if you ask me. But
yeah, I guess, if you put it in that context, yeah, it's horrible advice. But other than that, if you put it in, like, if you're going to do something, you need to do it. It could be a motivational speech also.
Yeah, it could. Like, man, if you want to fuck somebody up, don't apologize. Just do it.
Well, if it wasn't about fuck somebody up,
yeah,
it would be a motivational speech.
Right.
Like, if you see the dream, you better do it. You don't need permission.
Chase it. Go after it. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know one thing we skipped over? Aaron Hernandez at the club. Remember he went to the club with a couple of players and he got stopped by another guy who was speaking to him. And when the player said, "Hey, what was that about?" He said, "Yeah, he was asking me to have sex with his girl."
And him watch.
He wanted to watch. Well, he said, after they said, "What? And you ain't do it?" He said, "Well, he wanted to watch."
Yeah.
So it's just, I've heard this story before. NFL players say this, that, guys approach them like, "Hey, can you have sex with my wife or have sex with this person? And, I want to watch." But it's, hearing somebody tell the story and actually seeing it on TV, it just make it just funnier.
Yeah.
Just crazier.
Well, Aaron's late to practice, but it's due to a photo shoot. And the coach gets on him because he had given a quote to a reporter. And it was pretty much just bragging like he's a one-man team. And coach was like,
No. He wasn't bragging about he's a one-man team.
No, I was saying it was like he was bragging as if he was a one-man team.
No. It wasn't like, he just made a statement. Just period. Just made a statement like, we're not worried about them. They need to be worried about me. It's not saying that, like, I'm a one-man team because he's not, but it's just banter, just talk. Like, well, I'm not worried about them. It's just ego and pride. Like, I'm not worried about them. They shit. But the thing is, like Bill Belichick said, you shouldn't give a statement in the first place. Don't give anybody ammunition. And we've seen that happen a lot where schools that shouldn't have won came in extra crunk, extra hype, and beat a ranked team, and that's what it came from. Like, oh yeah, I watched the interview and so and so said this about me, said that I couldn't do. Yeah, so our plan was to come in and just beat them. Well, Bill Belichick saying we don't need to give them ammunition. Let them just study film or do whatever they're gonna do and play us, but we don't want them to come in with no extra aggression.
Right. So Aaron's pretty pissed about that, and he goes to see Sherrod, who has a lot of money on the table. And Aaron's like, yo, I just have a rookie contract. I ain't making that type of money. And Sherrod said, yo, if you give me 10, I can turn it into something. People always say,
give me 10, I can make babies. I can make it make babies.
And when he's just complaining about the NFL, how they want to hold him back, and Sherrod says, it sounds like jail. And Aaron's like, he has no power. Sherrod's just pushing him up. You only think you're free. But he pulls out a gun, and Aaron volunteers to go with him. And Sherrod says the team doesn't owe him, and he needs to let them know that. So it's like this whole big scene here with, you see their relationship obviously progressing because Sherrod feels super comfortable, have his money out, showing how much money he has, walks away with the money left for Aaron, and telling him about to do some dirt, and Aaron volunteers to go with him to do the dirt.
Well, he knows Aaron has money, so Aaron's not there to rob him. And he also knows that Aaron didn't grow up in that life. It's crazy. It's crazy, dealing with people who have grown up in a life that you've grown up with, that you probably call a friend at one point or anything, something, because when you're in that life, you can't, somebody's going to turn on you. They're going to, eventually, something's going to happen. Somebody's going to turn on you. Somebody's going to rob you. Somebody you may have considered a friend or whatever. But I don't think that at any point he thought Aaron was a threat. Like, you're not really come from this life and you already have money.
True.
That advice he gave him when he was like, or the complaint Aaron had, which was crazy to me, is the complaint that all teenagers have, all people have at any job they go to, especially their first job. Like, man, they don't want us to do this. They don't want to do this. Motherfucker, it's a job.
Yeah.
You're on their dime, on their clock, right? So you gotta, you know what? You didn't pay them to play for them.
Right.
They're paying you millions. Or at this time, he was on a rookie contract, which I think was around $200 at the time. I don't know, probably $250 at the time. Still, you're getting paid to pay for this to play for this company or to work for this company. Yeah, they're gonna tell you, you need to do this or you can't do that or this, that, the other. Like we said before, protecting the brand. So it's funny just seeing that Aaron complaint at such a high level is the same complaint that, all people have, all teens have, with their first couple of jobs and, some adults.
Right. Yeah, comparing it to jail, I mean, I know Sherrod was the one that said it sounded like jail. I'm like, come on now. I bet there's plenty of people in jail. Pretty much every person in jail will probably trade places with Aaron Hernandez at that time.
Yeah.
So, no, do not compare it to jail.
Yeah, but it's like that on any job. I mean, I've worked places that, you have people saying, man, it's like jail up in here. Mm-hmm. Not really. We get to go home at 5.
Well, Aaron takes Sherrod's advice literally because the next time they have practice, Aaron has on flip-flops. And that's when he's like, he don't give a fuck. Like, I'll come out here, I'll wear whatever I want. And that's when the coach switches him to running back, and he keeps getting tackled. He has to, I guess he's trying to teach him a lesson. Like, yo, you are not untouchable. You're not unstoppable. Or I don't know. What do you think he was trying to teach him?
Well, on first watch, I thought he was trying to teach him a lesson, saying, okay, you would act like that. We're going to do this. But on second watch, I realized that Bill Belichick was going to do that regardless.
Okay. He did that regardless.
He did that regardless.
Flip-flops or not, yeah.
They made it on the show look like that, hey, he had the sandals or flip-flops on, so Bill Belichick going to show him, but no, Bill Belichick said, hey, we're going to create a couple of different packages. So what the show didn't show is that he still played tight end. That was just a package that he lined up in when they called that play. Mm-hmm. And that went on for a couple of games.
Okay. Well, we get a quick scene or a quick flashback or a flash from the past, which is Chris, his old PT, comes and sees Aaron. We see UGA players asking for pictures. So I guess maybe, I don't know if it's the South, they just like him or whatever. But him and Chris talk about their relationships. And they are both in relationships with women now. And don't really discuss their past, but we do see they end going back home together.
Right. That's disturbing. Just thinking about how many guys are pretending right now with women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this a big thing in sports? Or it's just like it's happening everywhere? I remember years ago, they came out with a book called Down Low. It is supposed to take place in Atlanta, where they had guys who, I guess, girlfriends didn't know that they were into guys. But so they were sneaking around like buddies, just sneaking around doing things. Same thing Aaron Hernandez is doing right now. When that book came out, years ago, I remember there was a lot of chatter talk, and I was like, I don't think it's what they're saying. Maybe they're with, but look at this Aaron Hernandez thing. Made me think it goes a little deeper. It goes worldwide in this right here.
Yeah, it's definitely worldwide. I read a story not too long ago on Reddit where I think the lady's husband been together for many years. Now he's come out like he's gay, and I think he was having an affair. But she was just saying how lonely it was because now everyone's like congratulating him on coming out and like living his truth. But she's like, no one's saying anything to me. My husband was literally cheating on me and has left me, and now I'm supposed to just be like happy for him that he found his truth. And I thought that was an interesting perspective that maybe people don't even think about.
Yeah, people think about it. They just don't care.
Yeah.
Like when he came out, he had a support system. Not only cheating on her behind her back for years, but he made her believe that he was something that he wasn't.
Yeah.
That right there, that's a victim. But they don't, like she said, people expect her to congratulate him with her. But in actuality, she's a victim.
I agree. Well, that same night that Chris was hanging out with Aaron, Cheyenne was hanging out with the other girls or wives, and they're all talking about, like, you need to get a ring on it and give him sex whenever he wants, because if not, the groupies will do it. And Cheyenne's like, nah, my man is different. He is different. There's no groupies. There's none of that. And when she goes home, she's calling him, but he's in bed with Chris. So, yeah, there might not be other women, but he is off doing some shady shit.
Oh, yeah, but
like the other wives.
Groupies.
Yeah. He has groupies. She just not ones that she's thinking about. And Aaron swears up and down to Shy. He was like, I was with Sherrod last night. You can call him. Oh, when the guy says you can call him, you just know he's lying.
Well, with anybody, guys.
Anybody,
women,
yeah. You can call him. Yeah. That means you already tied up your lie. You already secured your lie.
Or your friends.
Yes, yeah.
Your friends,
They'll lie for you. Because actually I don't know if you've seen, that's another TikTok trend they've been doing. And the girl and the husband will call the husband's mom right in front of the husband. And like, hey, Mike told me he was going to be with you. And I just seen if he was there, if I can talk to him. And the mom will actively lie. Like, oh, yeah, actually, he's in the bathroom or something. Even though the husband's right there. And it was like showing proof that your family will lie for you.
Well, I never seen that one. But I seen the ones where the challenge where the girls called their girlfriends, with the guy right there. And, the guy sitting right there, and he asked their friend, like, hey, you seen her? They, oh, yeah, she right here. Oh, she sleep on the couch. They say, I'm going to get her. They come back like, I couldn't even wake her up.
Yep. Yeah, so it happens everywhere in so many different circles. But he tells her there's no other women, and, I guess technically he's not lying. There are no other women.
But I'm going to say this. I think it's easier to get, like you said, they call his mother. I think it's easier to get a woman to do it for you because, first of all, she's thinking faster. She's like, oh, shit, where my son? I'm a lot. But remember Kevin Hart saying him and his friends had code words and everything. Like, man, we just can't do that. Because, our first thing, like, nah, I ain't even see him. Then we think about it later. Everybody try to call back like, oh, yeah, you know what? He was. That's after we had a conversation with him.
Yeah. But, that Kevin Hart clip is hilarious to this day. Yeah, it is. So funny.
Like, you had a cold word like, oh, man, I'm hungry right now.
Yeah.
Oh, man, let's go get one of them chips we had last night.
That one was so funny. I can watch that one again.
That's how men are, yo. You come up with some code words, come up with everything, come up and they ain't going to follow it because they're not going to think about it at the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, Aaron's getting knocked down several times over and over at practice, and coach tells him like, "Yo, you just need to get better. Keep going. You can do this."
Well, one thing I like what Bill Belichick did, which Aaron said, he said, Coach, are you telling them my plays, what I'm running? Mm-hmm. And Belichick said, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling what you're running.
But luckily, he's interrupted from this brutal practice because he gets a call from the hospital. The mom is all bruised up. Jeff came at her with a knife. I mean, he came at her more than a knife. He came at her with some fists because she had bruises. She had a cut on her face. Aaron is pissed. He's like, I'm about to go kill him. And JJ goes, it's not worth it. It's her life. DJ don't give a fuck. He's like trying to protect. Now, he is trying to protect Aaron. But at the same time, I guess he kind of doesn't feel sorry for the mom because he's like, this is her life. It's not worth it. Like, he didn't say her life wasn't worth it, but he's like, it's not worth it. This is her life. Like, she's staying with him. She's staying with him.
She made her choice.
Yeah, she made her choice.
And I don't think he don't give a fuck. I think that he's tired of it.
Yeah.
Once you get tired of it and see that somebody ain't gonna change, like, you know what? I'm gonna be here if you need somebody to talk to, but I'm not getting in the middle of none of that anymore. Because I done helped you out before, got you out the situation, and you obviously wanted to jump back in. You just have to deal with your consequences. You made your bed, you got to lie in it. And that seems like the point that Aaron's brother is at. Like, hey, yo, this is her life.
Yeah.
There's no need for you to get involved with it. I'm not getting involved in it. And you know what? That also comes with emotional intelligence. And we see that Aaron's brother, he's intelligent on so many levels. He may not be as good as Aaron is at sports or football, but we see that his emotional intelligence is high.
Yeah.
Very high.
And this obviously probably wasn't the first time the mom got hurt like this. But while the mom is sitting here in this hospital bed all fucked up from her boyfriend, she's trying to give Aaron relationship advice and says, like, do not marry her. You don't know who you are yet. And Aaron, like, shuts that conversation. He's like, man, just, like, stop. Like, why are you telling me this right now? And I'm thinking, why are you telling this when your face is all fucked up from your boyfriend? You don't need to give any relationship advice right now.
Trash.
I mean, even though the mom is hurt and she is a victim in this case here, I don't know. I was just like, she's just a horrible person. Like, you can be a victim and be a horrible person. You know what I mean?
You can. And let's just be real with this. There are different victims. There are victims that are like really victims, and there's some victims that are voluntary victims. And when I mean voluntary, I mean that maybe the voluntary is the wrong word, but I wouldn't put her on the same. I wouldn't put her on the same level as somebody who was just jogging in the morning and somebody jumped out and grabbed him or whatever.
Right.
Because she doesn't deserve that victimism. She doesn't deserve that respect of a victim. She's choosing to remain a victim. She's choosing to, and I say that because if you choose to stay with this person after he's doing this and telling your son, don't worry about it. Now I don't know whether I can call you a victim or not.
Right. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You are a victim, but at this point, it's a choice.
I do get what you're saying. I'm not going to add to it because I feel like that is such a controversial stance.
It is. It's very controversial, but this is how I feel. Like, yeah, she's a victim, but I wouldn't put her on the same page with
just a person that's walking down the street and gets mugged or gets abused or something.
Or just somebody, a wife inside the home, and her husband just fall off the handle and just like, oh shit, I never knew he was capable of that. Mm-hmm. I consider that a victim, like a real victim.
Yeah.
And although she is per se a real victim, at this point, if this is something that's happening to you and keep happening, and you're like, oh, don't worry about it, it's not even that bad. When she said, don't worry about it, it's not bad, that means this has happened before. Yeah. This happened, and this may not even be the worst.
That's what told me it happened before.
Yeah, this is just the worst that you've seen.
Yeah, because no one was like, the DJ didn't seem shocked. Aaron seemed shocked that the fact she was in the hospital, but it was almost like, oh, I didn't know they get down this bad. Like, because Aaron's away. But it clearly wasn't her first time.
Yeah, but you see, the brother was a shot like, hell, this is her life. This is the life she's living. And that let me know that, okay, now you have made the choice to stay. So I'm going to just leave it there. Right. I'm going to leave it there.
Well, we're almost at the end here. Aaron, he's complaining to Sherrod about it. And Sherrod's like, yo, you want me to do it? I can take care of it. And Aaron goes, you know what? I want to do it myself. And they go and find Jeff. And when I say they, it was Aaron. Aaron beat the living breaks off him.
Yeah.
Sherrod had to kind of tell him, like, yo, like, come on, that's enough right there.
Yeah, all right, be cool. We don't want to kill him.
Yeah.
Just send a message.
But, I mean, he beat him good and told him, don't ever put your hands on my mama again. So hopefully that abuse will stop. Hopefully that will stop if she decides, obviously she's staying with the guy. But what did you think about this beatdown? And, like, do you think each time he beat somebody up, it kind of made him a little bit more easier, like the next beat up to be easier?
No, I don't think that at all. I think that it's in all boys' nature, especially young man nature, and even grown adults, to protect their mother, be very protective of their mother. I don't think that by him beating up the guy that just made him more of an animal.
Yeah.
I just think that's something that he felt that he just needed to do.
Right.
Like, man, I'm not going to have you hitting on my mom. Why don't you fight a man?
Yeah.
I guess the show tried to make us feel like he progressed, but I don't think killing somebody is a progression to beat somebody up for hitting your mother.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know if somebody would hit my mom, I'm ready. I'm gonna fight the dude. I'm gonna try to fight the dude, whatever. But after I fight, I'm not gonna say, yeah, that's easier now. I think I can kill somebody now.
Yeah, now that I got that beaten out the way, next step.
Let me take this off my list.
Yeah.
So no, I just think that's just something young boys feel, just naturally like I gotta protect my mother, and his brother didn't feel that way because, like we said, he's already seen it. He's been through it. He knows his mother's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of it. Hey, Aaron.
And he might have protected the mother before, and she went
right.
back. Well, the last two scenes, we see Aaron getting tackled on the field. Things are super hazy. And everyone's like hitting him on the head, like, good job, good job.
Yes, we see the run and play finally work.
Yeah.
Aaron breaks through, and it looks like he got like a good 30, 40 yards.
Yeah, he got pretty far.
It was a good run.
But then Cheyenne, she's the only one that kind of realizes how hard that hit was. Because she's coming up to him. She's like, yo, are you okay? Like, that was a hard hit, Like, everyone else is congratulating him. But it's showing that she cares about him more than the football. And she's like, yo, that was a hard hit. Like, are you okay? Okay. And then she's like, okay, well, I'll see you when you get home. And, well, I guess it wasn't practice because obviously she's there. But they go home, or he drives home separately, but he just sits there as the light turns green. He sits there, it turns red. He's just kind of confused. It almost seems like he doesn't even know where he's at or what he's doing right now.
I've been there before. And I'm not talking playing football. I'm just talking about just everyday life. Just went to the store and coming back home and got somewhere, like, and looked around like, where the hell am I?
Yeah. I mean, everyone has that. Everyone talks about they drive in. They're like, when you get to your spot, you're like, I don't even remember the drive. I was just like in a zone.
Well, that's something different. Like when you leave your house and you end up getting to your destination. You're like, I got here fast. I don't even remember getting here. But I'm talking about on your way, just pausing because now you're looking around and things don't look familiar. And I think me and you talked about that one time when we were driving home. And I told you, I said, I got to this point one day, and I was like, where the hell am I? Because it looked like another area that I'm familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, that day, cars decided to park on the side of the road that you shouldn't park on the side of. Mm-hmm. So it reminded me of another area here in Atlanta where people do that all the time, and it just looked the same. The area just looked, identical. So, like I said, when I got there, I looked around like, where the heck am I driving to? Like, I forgot where I was going and everything was because just that area right there just threw threw everything off.
Yeah. I don't think that's the case, obviously, with him. I think they're pointing to the CTE and,
that's what they're pointing
the concussion and everything that.
They're pointing to that. But,
and you can feel sorry for somebody's circumstances and still acknowledge that they're a bad person. Like, so I know they're sort of making it more relatable, and you're like, and I've talked about it too. Like, well, damn, what if he didn't know what he was doing? Like, who knows how far the CTE is? What if he didn't know? It doesn't still mean that, like, I'm dismissing what he's done, any of his victims.
No, you can't dismiss anything he's done, because even with the CTE, I don't think that. I mean, because a lot of players, had CTE, and a lot of players had it without even knowing it. But I don't think that's what made him a killer or made him, want to prove himself to, the guys in the gang or whatever. And his attitude problem, it probably didn't help. And what I mean by not help, it probably didn't help with the remorse that you would feel after you do something.
Yeah.
Like after you do something wrong, you feel like, oh man, I should have did that, or yeah, I was wrong for that. I don't think that the CTE or just the damage he took to the brain, because after he died, when they showed his brain was, they said his brain was beat up, deformed. It was just bad.
Yeah. Well, they're still learning a lot about CTE, so we probably won't know for many years to come if what people do or can are in control of or not control of, if they have that, because you can't even determine if they have CTE until after they're dead. So you don't know they have CTE until after they died.
No, you could tell. I thought they had things that you could tell, like the concussion on the spot.
You can tell someone has a concussion, but you can't diagnose someone with CTE until after they're dead, because you have to look at their brain.
Okay.
Yeah, all unless there's been advancements since then. But I just remember a few years, it might have been with the Aaron Hernandez story. I remember a few years ago I was watching a news story on it, and they were talking about how CTE, you don't know someone has CTE until if they die and you get to actually look at their brain.
Well, yeah, I don't know enough about it.
Well, we'll end it here. We appreciate always you guys listening. Be sure to check out my small screen sagas where I cover the TV show From. And we will be back next week, but another great episode, and we're getting deeper into that NFL storyline. So we might start getting a little bit more violence and a little bit more some dramatics, some tensions might rise a little bit more as the episodes continue from here.
Right.
All right. Until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Bye.